even when people doubt it. How do we stay confident when the world keeps telling us we're not enough?
Have mental health. We deal with anxiety, depression, and overwhelming expectations. Life gets heavy, and sometimes we feel alone. Joseph survived betrayal and hardship. Ruth kept going after loss and starting over. Mary carried a calling that came with pressure and misunderstanding. How do we keep moving forward when our hearts feel tired?
We're constantly told who to be and what to believe and how to act. There's so much noise around us. David knew who he was even when others didn't believe in him. Timothy stepped into his calling despite being young. Ruth found purpose in a new place. How do we discover who we are when the world keeps trying to define us? But throughout the Bible, God used young people and ordinary people who chose identity over approval. David knew who he was, even when others overlooked him. Before he was ever king, he was already chosen by God. Timothy stepped into his calling despite being young and underestimated. Ruth found purpose in an unfamiliar place and trusted God even when her future seemed uncertain. Esther discovered that her position wasn't accidental. She was placed there for a purpose bigger than herself. So the question becomes, will we spend our lives chasing acceptance from people or living confidently in the identity God already gave us? How do we discover who we truly are when the world keeps trying to define us? And how do we walk in purpose when fear, comparison, insecurity, and distractions try to silence us?
So today in 2026, our culture and society tends to normalize things that go against our Christian values. And it's hard to stay grounded in God when everyone else seems to be going in the opposite direction. I know that Mary was able to stay obedient even when she was misunderstood because of her pregnancy. I know that Daniel refused to compromise when it came to his prayer life, even in the face of death. And I know that Deborah stood for truth and justice during a corrupt time in the days of the judges. But the question still remains, how do we stay rooted in God when culture is pulling us in every direction?